one right here. Well, you can see this right here. Somebody's got to explain this to me, because apparently I can't explain this to myself because it's making me crazy. It's making me nuts. 2025 top 10 NBA players ranked by ESPN YouTube community. Ranked by ESPN YouTube community. Do you really believe this, folks? Do you really believe YouTube? Who is the community? Are you talking about the subs? I'm not buying it, folks. I'm not buying this one right here. Even if we go, I'm not going with the narrative, because that's what people are going to say. They're going, oh, it was a community. Listen here. Let's talk about it anyways. Regardless of what you believe, to me, this is going to be. Let's see if it's going to be the rankings going into next year. Now, I don't think ESPN put out the rankings yet for 25-26 season. And this can't be 25-20. You think this is? I don't know. Did they put it out? Did I not see it? I know we saw last year, right? It was 24-25, and people were going crazy. So, I don't really know what this is. If it was last year, it would be saying 24 because it starts in that year. Nevertheless, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Jeff Teague. Oh my God, this guy's an idiot. And he will do these are these black people on TV that have always tried to, give you the so-called black image of how black people should act, be, feel, everything. These black people on TV. Seriously. And this is one of these dudes right here, Jeff Teague. And he's talking about, we'll just talk about it right now because I don't even want to talk about it too much. But he's talking about, yeah, man, I don't mean to, I don't mean to steal what, give it a real. Yeah. I can't even talk like him. This dude is such an idiot. And it's like, why is you talking like this? Listen, if you from the streets, it's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with it. This is the way, I'm about to cuss. This is how dudes grew up. That's just how it was. No problem. But these are AAU suburban black kids, Ja Morants, because that's what I call them now, Ja Morants. That, we talked about this before. They grew up, kind of like LeBron James. He got taken when he was in fifth grade, even though he don't try to act hood or nothing like that. But these are these black children who didn't have to go without. They grew up in the suburbs. They had mama and daddy. They probably, some of them probably got, I ain't gonna say that because what I was gonna say, because I just don't want to, I don't want to say it. It's not being mean, but it's a lot to be said about some of these. Let me shut up. That's a whole different topic, so I don't even want to go down it. But nevertheless, he's one of these Ja Morants. He's one of these suburbio black kids that we done told you they feel like they missed something. And what was that something? They feel like they missed the hood experience. They feel like they, missed out on the drug selling, the gang banging, the being defiant. That whole black experience that was put on black people, I would say in the middle of the 80s, all the way until, I would say until the end of 2000, until 210, because to me, is when the 210s really start softening up again. And we tell you about that Drake era. We were talking about the other day. Everybody started singing, holding hands. In the black communities, they went from tough, hard, nobody wanted to live there, to now it's softening up because it's not that same gangster rap that was in the past. Those same dudes that was there, and things starting to get gentrified, dudes is starting to sing. So you ain't really feeling gangster like you was back in the day. Because now you singing. But these are these dudes. And a Jeff Teague, this dude didn't grow up like that, folks. You have people now saying that because they grew up in a black neighborhood, it was rough for them. That's crazy. We know in the hood, even in the hood, it was black families with money that had stuff and things like that. Nevertheless, I don't like these dudes, man, because this dude's still locked up in jail over the 80s, 90s, the 2000s. There's what I'm saying? There's dudes who actually had to go through this stuff, live this stuff, be about it, got trapped. was told to live this way. This was a way of life back in the day. It wasn't for no suburbs, homie. It wasn't like that. Those lives don't, that stuff don't even exist no more. What happened in the late 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s don't exist. It don't exist. They're just trying to keep pulling on this thing that don't even exist no more, which is his hood mentality. It's gone. It's over. Them dudes don't exist no more. That hard way of living don't exist no more. So when you see dudes trying to put on these facades and basically perpetrating about who the hell they is, I'm telling you, man, it makes you not like them more. You know how you saw Malibu's Most Wanted, right? And you had, there was white people who wanted to be hood gangsters. It was real back in the day. Now you can't even imagine, now you have black people who want to be hood gangsters that grew up in the suburbs. This is crazy. You would never think you could ever think of something like that. It's crazy. And like I said, these people like Jeff Teague, this dude don't talk like that. Yeah, man, that Kobe thing, that Michael Jordan thing, it was just crazy, man. Dude don't talk that way. Ain't nobody ever thought about Jeff Teague like that when he was coming out of Georgia Tech. Jeff Teague. Yeah, you could tell Jeff Teague. You ain't even got to know him, and you knew Jeff Teague was a preppy boy. You could just tell. But this is the image they try to sell to these young kids on YouTube, that they about some street life and they talk like this, and this the way they grew up, this the way. It's crazy. Because you can even just tell that this dude ain't even like that. It just ain't like that. Ain't too many gangsters turning into sports players. Ain't too many dudes from the street starting in, I don't know, I want to say in the 2000s were from the street and became NBA players in the 2000s. Not many. Most of them dudes were AAU middle class black suburban kids. I'm trying to tell you what. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing. Nobody deserves to live in, be poor, be without eating, be without clothes, be without, period. Nobody. But what I'm trying to say is the black suburban kids, I'm so sick of these Negroes acting like they came from some type of struggle, acting like they really do talk like this on their podcasts, the Zach Randolphs and all this stuff. Man, get the hell out of here, man. And some of these dudes is real fruity, man. These what they call them? Man, I forget what they call them. Not studio gangsters. Yeah, you could call them studio gangsters too. I forget what they call them, but it's associated with homo thugs. Homo thugs. That's what they start calling them. Homo thugs. Yeah, some of these dudes is homo thugs, right? Punks that like hip hop. So they started calling them homo thugs. I think it was more like in the 210s or something like that, when a lot of that was getting exposed, right? With Baby and Lil Wayne kissing in concerts, kissed on 106 in Park, you know what I'm saying? With homo thugs. So I'm just sick of this dude. So he was like trying to steal Gilbert Arenas' thunder. He's like, look, man, I don't mean to steal Gilbert Arenas. He said this, man, but look at 85 Mike, man. Wasn't nobody like 85 Mike, man. And he was just different, man. And you know what I'm saying? And he would just say a whole bunch of nothing before he actually made a point that we done heard a million times. We done heard it a million times, but he wasn't trying to enhance, 85 Mike or, 80s Mike or nothing like that. He wasn't trying to enhance all the points that we done heard before about 80s Mike and how nobody was like him. He just thought that, he will put his 2 cents into it and sound like an idiot and basically say the same ish that everybody else said, but say it in a way to where he sound like he from the damn streets and, he out there struggling, out here hustling and just get by and all this. Man, it's just, these suburban black kids that do this just get on my nerves. They just get on my nerves. Same thing with, I don't know Anthony Edwards' background, but when you tell me his father is a professor at a university, it's suspect that he said he was watching Christmas games, NBA Christmas games with no cable. It's just, man, by the time he grew up, everybody had cable. You could be the poorest person on earth and you could get cable. Cable was cheap. Cable is cheap. I grew up poor and we still had cable. And all the Christmas games came on the damn, it came on regular networks anyways. The guy's another fraud to me, man. Probably, like I said, his father is a professor. Huh. At a college. And he grew up with no cable. Oh, goodness gracious. So let me say this. I'm done with this fool, Jeff T. I was shocked he won a championship. I didn't know he won that championship with the Bucks. So, you know, he thinks he's high and mighty now, I guess, you know, because he was a bench warmer on that Bucks team that won the championship. But he can't even talk. He's got a whole bunch of dudes just, you know, horsing him into what to say. Oh yeah. Get the hell out of here, man. And I wouldn't even make fun of anybody who talk like that. Dudes from the streets, dudes that lived through it, dudes that went to prison. And, you know, we all know dudes back from the 90s and 2000s still in prison to this day. Or dead. Or, you know, out and ain't doing nothing. Because that record is held against them. Them streets don't exist no more. If they really don't exist in big cities no more, them streets don't exist in small towns no more. Okay? All these rappers singing ain't bringing you no streets. We just, you know, dudes just holding hands, giving flowers to each other, and holding teddy bears, singing to each other. That ain't the gangster stuff that was going on in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. It wasn't, folks. I mean, the dudes like Jeff T ain't coming outside in those days. He ain't coming outside. He gonna do his homework and, you know, play Nintendo and staying. He ain't running those streets with no gangsters. Okay? That's why I was surprised when I saw Derrick Rose. And not that Derrick Rose didn't come from the streets in Chicago and stuff like that, but Derrick Rose was like real reserved. He was real shy. You couldn't get no gangster talk out of Derrick Rose when he was in the league. Even, I'm not trying to say he had to act like a gangster or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, in the 2000s, you couldn't even, there was nothing gangster about the dude. At times, I thought the dude was feminine. I thought he was, you know, I thought he had some sugar in his tank. That's what I thought. I thought he was playing on the other side. But now, to see Derrick Rose on these podcasts, he looked like he just walked out of a trap house. The way he be talking and acting, I'm like, damn, I can't even believe it. Go back and listen to a Derrick Rose interview back in the day. You're going to be blown away. You won't even believe. Night and day. You would think Derrick Rose grew up with millionaire parents. If not, you would think Derrick Rose was a little fruity back in the days. If Derrick Rose, the way Derrick Rose acts now, if he act like that back in the day, remember all these fools was dancing in the All-Star game, right? You had, when they got called out, right? I think it was Lebron. I forget who else it was. It was Dwight Howard and a couple other fools, right? And Derrick Rose just sit there and was just looking at him, like embarrassed. He was embarrassed. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is how Derrick Rose was back in the day. He was real soft. He was laid back, soft, and reserved. If you take that Derrick Rose today that you see on podcasts and take him back to that day in the All-Star break, he would have been doing the same thing LeBron and Howard, all them other fools was dancing or doing when they was dancing on the stage. I'm just saying, Derrick Rose done changed too. Whatever, man. So we're going to get into this. This 1 through 10. I don't even know what the hell this is. So we got the usual suspects at top, right? Joker, SGA 2, Giannis 3, Luka 4, Steph Curry 5. Is Steph Curry 5? I don't know. Anthony Edwards 6. Is Anthony Edwards really 6? And this is what I'm going to say about that. 7, Durant. Victor Wembanyama 8. Who is this? LeBron James 9 and Jason Tatum 10. Jason Tatum 10. Wow. Now, I gotta assume this is coming up for the next season. There's no way in this world that this ain't coming up for the next season because this is 24. I mean, my fault. This is 25. So that will be starting for this season right here, the coming up season into next season. So these are 10 players. I want to see who made all NBA first and second team last year. I want to see that. Let me see, all NBA. Let me look at this. This ain't gonna be too hard to figure out right here. See where the lies are right here. If there are any lies to be told. All NBA. What the hell is this? 24-25. Oh, I think that's where's the first team? So the first team, you got Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. Look at that, folks. Donovan Mitchell. Let's just go right here. So you got Giannis, you got SGA, Joker, Donovan Mitchell, and then you had Jason Tatum. The second team, this was 24-25. Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, and Evan Mobley. That was this past season's 1 and 2. I don't think 3 matters at all to me. It really ain't going to tell us nothing here because none of these players are on the third team in this top 10 that they're giving us. And I just want to make sure of something. So Kevin Durant, when we look back at this, Kevin Durant did not make an All-NBA 24-25 team. So how the hell is he on this list? Are we going to say injuries? I don't care. If you're always injured and you're trying to, he didn't make it, man, because his injuries. Look, bro. Look, bro. So he made it all the way to the All-Star game. I remember this fool playing in the All-Star game. So he didn't make it on the All-NBA, the first or second team. Who else did? Victor Wembanyama didn't make it on the first or second team. Looks like those are the only 2 players that didn't make first or second team. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question right here. Y'all let me know, man, because I'm not going to be dumb right here, man. It says 25. So again, was it this past season that ended? That they're saying 20? I don't get it. Or is it the upcoming season? Let's just say it's the upcoming season. Okay, because ESPN came out with the rankings of 24-25. In the 24-25, even though they're trying to say this is, the ESPN community. So we would guess this is for the upcoming season because Anthony Edwards, he was number 10, if I ain't mistaken, on ESPN's top 10. All right, and it was some other controversy. You had, LeBron James in front of Anthony Davis, which, that's what it was. Anthony Davis didn't make an All-NBA, did he? And he's 6th. No, that's Anthony Edwards. Wow. So Anthony Davis ain't on for next year? They don't think he's going to be a top 10 player? Wow. Listen. Most of these guys have been in the league long enough, right? And most of these guys have all made top 10. I mean, been on all NBA first team at least one time in their career, except for Victor Wembanyama, right? And let me see. I don't even think he got on here because he was hurt. Was he on here? Well, let me see last year. Why did they just go to this 1 year? It's foolishness. Oh, here we go. Right here, we're gonna look at this one. Goodness God, man, these people. Let me see what ESPN is saying. I think I pressed something wrong. Let me see. All NBA. Okay, here we go right here. So all NBA. I want to see last year. I want to see if Victor Wembanyama. They always trying to pop up these ads. Victor Wembanyama. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Unless I'm seeing this wrong, Victor Wembanyama didn't even make All NBA last year. There's 3 teams, man. Don't tell me nothing because it is, because of that. I don't want to hear it. Old ass Kawhi, who don't even play, made the 2nd team last year. So Victor Wembanyama has never made an All NBA team at all. I was just keying in on, All NBA first team. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the elite level. To me, that makes you an elite player, in your career. It's just hard for me to believe that you were an elite player. You deserve a max contract. You're a superstar if you never made an All NBA first team. So it seems like we have a couple problems on this list right here, going a few ways. The first way is the fact that Victor Wembanyama has not even made a 3rd team, let alone a first team. Okay? So I know you go, oh man, that was your 2nd season. That's bad, man. That's really bad when we're talking about like the GOAT debate. It's really bad. And it speaks to something. How long is this guy gonna last, folks? Is he gonna be a Bill Walton? He's gonna be like, a Greg Oden, something like that. Or is he gonna be a dominant player? So I guess you could say he's top 10. What can you prove though? What did he lead the league in blocks this year? I think he led the league in blocks. And I don't think he has a, let me look at this real quick. I know you guys are like, man, the guy only played 2 years, but I'm just saying, man, to be on the top 10, that's what I'm trying to say. So let me check out this guy's accolades and see what's going on here with this. Victor Wembanyama. In the 2 years he played, I was about to say, dang, because it gave me all his friends' accolades. So, yes, he was an all-star last year. Won an all-star last year. I mean, the year before that, his rookie season. But this past season, of course, an all-star. All-NBA defensive team. Rookie of the year. What is this? Okay, and then he done led the league in blocks. He done led the league in blocks 2 times. It's pretty good. French Player of the Year, for what it's worth. This guy was, listen to this, a French Player of the Year in 23. He won the championship for France. I guess that's what it is in that league. And he was the MVP there. And he was their top scorer. Tell me what's going on, folks. How come this guy had this much of to me, a drop-off? If he did all that back in France, and remember, y'all done told us, man, the world done caught up to us. Yep, the world done caught up to us. That's what they say. So I'm just saying, man, I'm going to come back to this same talking point by the end of next year for Victor Wembanyama. Because he did all that. And that's why he was getting all that praise, because he did all that in France. But when he came over here, what the hell was he doing? In his rookie year, he should have dominated. There's no reason. Did you see this? Pops was limited this guy's minutes. Like the guy was coming out of college. No, folks, the guy was playing in a Euro League against adults and schooling them, winning MVPs, winning championships, and all this stuff. Player of the year. But he came in and Pop said, take a seat. Like he was coming out of college. This is crazy. That's why I said I can't give these guys no excuses. These guys are, if you say these guys are better than past greats, we remember dudes like Magic coming into the league, tearing it up. Jordan coming in the league, tearing it up. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming in the league, tearing it up. Wilt tore it up. Shaq tearing it up. And the list just goes on and on and on and on. So guys like Victor Wembanyama have no excuse not to be dominating this league, folks. Don't give me no age when he's over there dominating grown men in the French or the Euro League. Don't tell me this. Remember, those days are supposed to be over. You know, when Kobe comes in, he's sitting on the bench because the league is so tough. That's when we're talking about young, right? Dudes just come in and do what they wanted to do when they were young. And a lot of them couldn't even start. So, I'm just saying, man, stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense talk for these dudes in our age. It's the weakest era of all time where you can travel, carry, don't have to play no defense. That's what it is. So just write that down and catalog it, because we're going to come back to Victor Wembanyama. But to me, you know, a guy who ain't even made an all-NBA team, period, I don't care what the reasons are. If you try to throw, man, the man was hurt, the man, you know, Pop didn't let him play his first year, then he's not a top 10 player. Y'all got to stop doing ish on potential and do stuff for what it is. And that's what they're trying to sell you. And they've been trying to sell you for a long time. Potential is great. But once the time comes, no more potential. We see it with our own eyes. It ain't happened. For whatever reason, you ain't on no all-NBA team. There's no reason that you should be in the top 10 on this list. Anthony Edwards. Talk about this. We talked about that yesterday. To me, I mean, you can keep him there where he's at 6, because he was 10 last year on ESPN's list. Is he really better than Jason Tatum? And if we're talking about this is the list for last year, can't be. He wasn't better than Jason Tatum. And we're talking about this is the list for this upcoming season. How is Jason Tatum even on this list? It don't make any sense. Jason Tatum may not even play next year. In whatever capacity he plays in, as far as when he comes back, the middle of the year, the end of the year, he ain't a top 10 player. He ain't a top 10 player. He's going to be out. So again, if this is for this coming up season, I don't even know why the hell Jason Tatum is on here. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is, if Kevin Durant is a top 10 player, it just shows how weak this era is. It really does. Yeah, and we Anthony Davis. The thing about Anthony Davis, he jumps around so much, like, because he's hurt. Then he's okay. Then he's hurt. Then he's okay. If anybody has, you know, a potential gauge, it would be this guy right here, right? Because he's not consistent as far as his health. So you will say, oh man, if this guy was healthy, his potential would be top 5 every year. And that's why we said earlier, LeBron James has played with a top 5 player with Anthony Davis every single season in LA. Because if he wasn't a top 5 player or a top 10 player, he had the potential. And the only reason why he wasn't is because he got hurt. That's it. Other than that, he never stepped on the court and he wasn't looking like a top 10 player. Never. The only thing ever stopped him from being a top 10 because he wasn't there. He didn't have played enough games to qualify to be a top 10 player. Not because of what he actually did on the court. He was falling off. No. So, in LeBron James, what a joke, is number 9. Is number 9. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and punch this up, matter of fact, and see what's really going on. See if it's on here. 2024, 25. You believe these people Why would they do that? Weird. 24, 25. What the I'm about to cuss because these people keep playing on the internet. I don't know why. I'm pressing something in the Google, and the numbers start going to calculating. What the hell is that? Oh, so they do got him out. Oh, no, they don't. It's 24, 25. Oh, no wonder, because I put the wrong thing in there. So that would be 25. 26. No, they haven't put it out. They got a ranking on evaluating players. Nobody wants to hear that. No, nobody wants to hear that. Anyways, they did something. I saw it on ESPN the other day. I don't know if it was on YouTube or it had to be on social media because I really don't watch regular TV no more. But I thought they said LeBron James was out of the top 10 into the coming season. I thought they said LeBron James was out of that top 10. So if LeBron James is back in the top 10, that's going to be a crime. But the fact that he's making the money he's making is a crime too. For not if he's not in the top 10, even though he's not a top 10 player. But yeah, that's just that's just one of the things that always disturb me. How can you be a top 5 player in the league if you never made an All NBA first team? And then, to me, I don't even think you can be an All NBA. A top 10 player if you never even made All NBA first team. I'm being serious. I don't care who was. We talked about this yesterday. Luka, SGA. You got to beat them out, man. You got Anthony Edwards. You have to beat them out. You just do. If you're better. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. This dude's supposed to be this good, and you're letting Luka Doncic beat you out every year. And let me tell you something. I'm not trying to say Luka Doncic ain't good. You just got to be better. And guess what? They'll probably never be better. Anthony Edwards will probably never be better. And like we just see, Donovan Mitchell end up beating Anthony Edwards out for that first team. So you're trying to tell me you've been in the league 5 years and you ain't seen an All NBA first team? What? Hey, yay, boy. Hey, he goes to the basket. He go, hey. That's what I'm saying. Hey. When I look at this dude's resume, I say, hey, I don't see no All NBA first teams. I don't see no All NBA defensive teams. I don't see no statistical accolades that you led the league in. Hey, that's what I say when I see this guy's resume. But yet they're touting this dude like he done did something. What did he do? Nothing. But put up some stats in an easy to score era. Not saying he's not a great player or a good player. I don't think he's great. That's too loosely. I think that's why I even said that, because we use it so loosely. But yeah, I think he's a good player. He's not great. Great is, in your era, great would be considered Luka or SGA. That's the standard for great at your position. It just is. Yep. That's the standard. And obviously, you ain't even better than Donovan Mitchell, who only made All NBA first team because Luka didn't qualify. That's it. It's that simple, folks. This ain't, rocket science or anything like that. We try to make this thing seem, complicated. So to me, Anthony Edwards, he on this list, I don't even know what the hell it is. I mean, as far as who made it, whatever like that, but I will put him at number 10. To me, I think Jalen Brunson is better than Anthony Edwards. Seriously. Of course, he never had the rebounds. I think Jalen Brunson is a better facilitator. I wouldn't say he's not a better defender, but I think Jalen Brunson is definitely a better scorer, has a more rounded game than Anthony Edwards. It's just true. He got a better, well-rounded game, even at his size. I think he's a better shooter. He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid-range. He can bring you inside and toy with you. He can blow past you. He can do all this stuff. And guess what? One thing that Anthony Edwards ain't never going to have that Jalen Brunson got. Jalen Brunson got heart. And this dude is clutch. Clutch with heart. You know how I know Anthony Edwards ain't got that? Because he runs his mouth. He runs his mouth. He's got to, he got to pump himself up to make him feel like something he wants to be, instead of shutting his mouth and just be something he is, right? You don't hear Jalen Brunson talking all this trash and A1 from day one, ain't nobody gonna stop me and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. Bro, you ain't even made all NBA first team. If you've been in the league 5 years, you ain't even made all NBA first team. You ain't made all NBA defensive team. You have 0 statistical accolades. And you talking all that mess? Like you one of them dudes that been doing all this? Yeah, like I said, give me Jalen Brunson 7 days a week over Anthony Edwards. 7 days a week. 7 days a week. I'm trying to tell you. And to me, Jalen Brunson is just get better. Yes, he won't never be the defender that, Anthony Edwards is or could be, which, ain't really much right now. To me, what is it? What does he really do as a defender that's like on a high level? I ain't trying to say he ain't defending nothing like that, or he's a slouch, but he's not. The great defenders are on defensive on the first team. The good ones are on the second. So he's not even good. He's just average. So, I mean, we say he's just average. How much better is he than Jalen Brunson on defense? I think Jalen Brunson, if he worked hard at it, he could be a better defender. Because of his size, he could, give you a lot of problems, stealing the ball, whatever like that. But I think why he ain't is because he uses so much energy on offense trying to get by these big-ass defenders that's way bigger than him. So to me, it just takes too much out of him. Too much to ask from him after he's trying to use all that energy as a small guy to get past these big guys. So you got to take your pick. You guys tell me what you think, man. This top 10, wherever it came from, the ESPN community, Kevin Durant shouldn't be on here. Anthony Edwards shouldn't be this high. LeBron James shouldn't even be on here. If it's for next year, Jason Tatum shouldn't be on here. Victor Wembanyama, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Like I said, he never made a first team. He never even made any All-NBA. So it's hard for me to say. Anthony Davis, give me him any day. A healthy Anthony Davis over Anthony Edwards. Any day. Any day. And give me Jalen Brunson, too. Hell, give me Jason Tatum, who shouldn't even be on this list if it's going into next year. So, I don't know.